Like I worked for two companies in Ireland, and when left one, I was more pushed out because and I'll touch on that in a minute what they done because I know a lot of people kind of experience this. But when I left, I took the best people. The best people went with the other company with me, and the ones that didn't, that I couldn't find something, they went away to different companies because they saw what I was dealing with. And it's kind of, and I've seen that happen. And basically, when I was running these projects, there's one project I made it over 1 million on a £4 million project or 5 million extra. Like, so I was watching all the pennies and everything. And the guy I was reporting to from the start who hired me was a director, lovely guy, got on very well with him. He just let me do my own thing. He was one of these guys, kind of, he taught me how to do it the first job and all that. And then just kind of said, "You're grand." He come over the meetings because I didn't like public speaking at the time. I overcame that fair, but he come over the meetings, so he knew what I did like, and he was really supportive and paid me well, gave me good bonuses and everything. And I remember being at a meeting with I used to go up to the head office with the whole board, and there was like the managing director. And one time we were in for a meeting, and this director was talking to him, and he just put up his hand like that, as if to shut up. And I remember thinking, well, I wouldn't like if he did that to me. That's not nice. Like, that's disrespecting. And the guy that he did it to was really hardworking. He was like remotely committed to the company. So later they got rid of him. And other directors were kind of promising, "Oh, we'll look after you way better and everything." And it was terrible because I was running at this stage a couple of, like, one job was 10 million euro, and there was a few other jobs that I was running, and they gave me all terrible people. And I know who's good. And immediately I said, "I don't want this quantity surveyor. I don't want this foreman." And they wouldn't do it. And then I was catching them putting jobs on it. And I know, like, when I talk about that to other people, there's so many people go through things like that. And it's a difficult situation because you can't punch upwards because, like, they can just say goodbye. And that's what happened in the end. It was like, they kind of pushed me out, like, and my heart was gone. There was a case where I was really passionate, loved what I was doing, this isn't right. But the amount of people that I hear that the exact same thing happens is massive.
No, I think it's true. With the managers, the relationships that we have with managers above us, and managers with the relationships that obviously that they have with their direct reports is super cool. But what you were talking about for me is like creating followership, because there are managers out there that do that. And, it might be a little bit cliche, but we know at an intrinsic level who we really like working with and for, because they bring out the best in us. And if managers are not bringing out the best in their people, then that kind of starts that query in people's minds around, is this really the type of person or the person that I want to be working with? And this is why the role of true leaders within an organization is so important in terms of how they're coming across to their team. Like, many companies, the executive level kind of hide. You never see them, and they're never out amongst their people. There's the old adage of, managing by walking around. Especially in this virtual world right now, it becomes even more challenging to create relationships with people higher up in the organization. But my opinion is, the higher up you go, the more you need to reach out, the more real you need to be, the more authentic, the more curious, the more interested you need to be in the people that are working within your organization. Because at the end of the day, just walking past someone's desk or a quick email or whatever can make the world of difference to anyone, within the organization. People notice behaviors. Employees, individual contributors, whatever, are constantly looking at the behaviors of leaders or their managers within the organization. I make the reference in the book to, welcome to management, welcome to becoming dinner time conversation, because, who doesn't go home and talk about their manager to their significant others over, an evening drink or meal or, whatever. You've got to be aware of that as you're stepping into the management role, that your role is much more about other people now than it is about you. As an individual contributor, everything is about you. But as a manager, it's not about you anymore. It's about you getting done what you need to get done and you looking after the people that you're working with.